This is a leaked report. Here's what we found. The deserts of Rajasthan were quiet, too quiet. But inside a fortified palace on the outskirts of Jodhpur, the world's most unexpected meeting was underway. Two leaders, oceans apart in geography, but united by one purpose: the collapse of Western dominance. One was the bold young lion of West Africa, Ibrahim Traoré. The other, the strategic mastermind of South Asia, Prime Minister Narendra Modi. No media, no entourage, no state flags, only one camera in the room. That camera footage has now been leaked. According to the footage, the two titans shook hands and agreed. By 2030, the old world must fall. It reportedly began with a coded message intercepted by RAW, the Indian intelligence agency. Traoré's visit wasn't diplomatic. It was strategic. A top-secret proposal, hand-delivered by Burkina Faso's envoy 2 weeks earlier. Inside that envelope, a 6-point plan to dismantle dollar hegemony, reroute global trade, and create an AI-backed military intelligence network across Africa and Asia. Sources indicate Modi did not hesitate. He was recorded whispering, "It's time. The East must rise." The two men allegedly met at midnight. The table was bare. No media, no microphones. Just two leaders, speaking in confidence and in power. Modi was seen smirking and saying, "The West thinks you're just a village revolutionary." Traoré reportedly replied, "Let them believe it. By the time they realize, it'll be too late." The meeting lasted 4 hours. When the doors reopened, the geopolitical chessboard had been redrawn. So what did they agree on? Who leaked the footage? And what does this mean for the global order? The leaked footage reportedly shows Traoré laying out a handmade map of the world, streaked with red lines connecting Africa, India, and the South China Sea. He was recorded saying, "We will start by building parallel systems: currency, communication, defense." Modi nodded and responded, "We dismantle the old empires with silence and systems. No bullets, just blueprints." They had planned to launch a new currency, digitally backed, untied from the dollar. A crypto coin for Africa and Asia, governed by joint AI regulators in Ouagadougou and Mumbai. Modi named it the Sankara rupee and added, "Let the markets fear our calm." But the plan wasn't just economic. It was cultural. They agreed to build an AI media engine to counter Western narratives and promote sovereign leadership. Traoré reportedly stated, "We will rewrite the global story. No longer will Africa and Asia be just settings in someone else's plot." At the same time, intelligence services in Washington and Paris were seen scrambling. Reports suggest they realized too late. The alliance had already been sealed. 6 hours after the meeting, a test signal was allegedly launched from a joint Indo-African AI lab in Hyderabad, connecting directly to Ouagadougou. "Stage 1 complete," one engineer was heard saying. "The pipeline is live." Modi asked, "Are your people ready?" To which Traoré replied, "We've waited 200 years. They'll wait no longer." The leak was traced back to a junior communications officer within RAW. The footage was posted anonymously online. Within 24 hours, the world reacted. Western media called it a hoax, but experts noted too many verifiable details to dismiss. Markets trembled. Gold prices spiked. BRICS leaders remained silent. But online, India and Burkina Faso began trending worldwide. In Africa, public demonstrations erupted in support of Traoré. Flags bearing his face appeared from Dakar to Kampala. In Delhi, students were seen chanting Modi's name beside portraits of Nehru and Gandhi, this time flanked by Traoré. The leaked alliance quickly turned into a symbol, a myth, a prophecy. Western powers held emergency meetings. The IMF issued stern warnings. NATO reportedly upgraded its cyber defense status. But from the East, silence, watchfulness, smiles. Deep in the Indian Ocean, a new naval fleet had begun silent drills under joint command. Indian aircraft carriers aligned with Burkina Faso's first drone submarines. Encrypted underwater protocols confirmed that Operation Sandstorm had gone active. Back in Ouagadougou, Traoré's advisors began redrawing trade agreements. French firms were replaced with Indian, Turkish, and Brazilian partners. A memo from the French Ministry of Foreign Affairs reportedly read, "We've lost the pivot." In retaliation, Western governments prepared sanctions, travel bans, and financial restrictions. But the East had already moved its gold reserves. Traoré had planned to appear on national TV and declare, "We are not rebels, we are revivalists. We don't reject the world, we reject domination." Modi, in a Varanasi press briefing, was recorded saying, "India stands for multipolarity, for dignity, for the future." The message was loud and clear. This wasn't war, it was rule rewriting. As the G7 scrambled, a Pentagon email was leaked. It read, "We are in freefall. Containment is no longer possible." Soon after, Burkina Faso and India announced the Global South Intelligence Grid. This network, powered by AI, would reject Western servers and surveillance backdoors. It was built purely on sovereignty. Washington labeled it cyber treason. London dubbed it a digital iron curtain. Beijing simply nodded. From a dimly lit studio, Traoré and Modi were recorded sitting side by side. Traoré said, "No more speeches, just action." Modi added, "This is not a war, it is an awakening." The screen went dark. Text appeared. "This is just the beginning." The next morning, both leaders vanished from public view. Rumors swirled. Had they gone underground? In New York, the UN Security Council held an emergency closed-door meeting. For the first time in decades, China and India voted as one. In Paris, protests erupted outside the Indian embassy. Western citizens demanded answers. Is this the end of globalization as we know it? By nightfall, 12 African nations had declared solidarity with Traoré's stance. A digital manifesto spread across the continent. Freedom is not given, it is coded. In Washington, economists warned the petrodollar is under attack. Burkina Faso's national broadcaster leaked details of the New Silk Network, a joint infrastructure project spanning ports, rail, and fiber optic grids from Senegal to Singapore. Modi's chief economic advisor appeared on Indian television stating, "This is not just about trade. This is about rewriting the algorithm of global value." Meanwhile, Western intelligence had uncovered a name whispered across intercepted communications: Kautilya X. Kautilya X was described as an AI strategy engine co-developed in secret by India and Burkina Faso. It simulated global reaction patterns, political blowback, and media framing 100 steps ahead. Analysts believe the leak had been intentional, a psychological trigger to test the world's readiness. India launched its first energy corridor through Africa, bypassing the Suez. Western ships trailed behind, but were digitally blocked from trade ports. In Burkina Faso, youth began organizing under one slogan: Code, Cooperate, Conquer. Universities across Africa added the Traoré Doctrine as a political science elective. In Riyadh, the Saudi Royal Council called an emergency review of regional economic commitments. The petrodollar trembled. Back in India, newspapers dubbed Traoré the digital Sankara. Comparisons to Nehru and Mandela flooded social media. On the streets of Bamako and Bissau, street art erupted overnight. Traoré's face was painted alongside the words, "Sovereignty now." Western media continued to mock the alliance. A CNN anchor called it a techno-utopian delusion, but ratings surged. In response, Burkina Faso's Ministry of Information launched its own global broadcast service, Afrinet, with AI-powered translation in 50 languages. On opening night, a voiceover declared, "This is not anti-West, this is post-West." As Afrinet gained traction, the UN debated its legitimacy. The vote to recognize Afrinet as an official entity split down the middle. In Moscow, President Putin held a closed-door meeting with Traoré's chief diplomat. No cameras, no interpreters. Just two languages: power and ambition. Kautilya X simulations indicated the next Western move would be economic sabotage disguised as regulation. Modi and Traoré responded by de-dollarizing regional supply chains. In Delhi, Modi convened a summit called 2030 Harmony and Code. The tagline, "The world was binary. We are not." At the summit, a 15-year-old Burkinabe coder unveiled a democratic voting app powered by blockchain and ancestral wisdom. She declined Western scholarships, saying, "I don't need to leave to succeed. I just need the space to lead." Modi and Traoré stood by, silent, proud. As the summit closed, drones painted the skies of Ouagadougou with a digital phoenix. Below it, 3 words glowed: resist, rebuild, rise. Silence fell over continents. The world knew. This wasn't a rebellion. It was a reprogramming. Later, Modi and Traoré were spotted walking in a garden. No guards, no press, just 2 men beneath a wide sky. "Do you think they'll believe us now?" Modi asked. "They don't have to," Traoré said. "Belief was their tool. Ours is proof." They sat on a bench beneath an acacia tree. "It's begun, hasn't it?" Traoré nodded. "Yes, the world is waking up."